Let's talk a little bit about forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that has to be taken seriously and is also something that should not be just given on the random. I understand that there are certain religious doctrines and rules in regards to forgiveness. My thing is that if forgiveness produces positive results, then you've made the wise choice. But sometimes we randomly forgive people because we want peace and quiet. We want to calm the waters. But no problems have been solved. No problems have been solved at all. You might think it's okay on your end, but the other person that you're forgiving might have issues. That's why you have to be careful of someone who says they forgive you and continues on in the same negative headspace and the same negative energy, because they might just be saying that to avoid karma. They might be saying it out of guilt, but they really don't feel it in their heart. So you got to be careful when you're dealing with that. And people got to understand too, when you forgive somebody, that doesn't mean you have to hang around them. See, a lot of a lot of doctrines try to practice that, oh, well, you've got to forgive them and you got to go off hand in hand into the lily fields and everything is okay. But if that person is not healed, if that person is still in a negative headspace, negative situations, you are forgiving them because you accept the fact that, okay, they may not know any better. That's fine. You've accepted that. You're forgiving them because you are releasing the negative energy that is present in your life. You're letting it go. And the only way that you feel that you can let that negative energy go is to forgive this person. You're releasing all of the toxic things associated with that situation that you and that person were involved in, and you're just letting it go to the wind so you can move on. So you figure the only way that you can do that is to forgive. That makes plenty of sense. But some of y'all, you just figure because of what you were taught to just go around forgiving everybody, especially if they got a sob story as to why they acted the way they acted. Some of them had negative circumstances that they were brought up in, or they could have had traumatic experience. Not trying to be cold or anything, but if you live in this thing called life, you're going to run into some kind of negative circumstance or trauma. It just depends on the type of person you are in regards to handling it. But there are some people who live in that trauma and negative headspace all their lives because they never done anything to try to resolve it. They never tried to heal that inner child. They never tried to heal or get through that trauma. They never sought any type of resolution to close that door, and they spend their whole lives doing that. So they do things that require forgiveness on a constant basis. And then some of y'all turn around and take those circumstances and figure, okay, well, I'm going to forgive them because of so and so and so, and you find yourself spending your whole life, time after time after time, forgiving them more. And 9 times out of it's the same behaviors. It's the same behaviors. And they're always dropping that negative energy on your doorstep every single time. But because you were taught that you were supposed to just forgive 100 times, forgive 1,000 times. Okay, there's nothing wrong with forgiveness, but you ain't got to let this person keep coming back to you 1,000 times. There are a lot of people from my past where things have happened that I have forgiven them, but I don't fuck with them. I've forgiven them and I've let them go on. It's like, okay, all right, whatever happened, happened. I'm letting you know it's done, it's over with. I've let the negative energy go. I forgive you for what you done because such and such. But no, we ain't hanging out now. Because, see, my life has gone in a different direction. Things have changed since you've done the crazy shit you did. Or acted the crazy way you acted. Things have changed. So just because I turn around and tell you I forgive you doesn't mean that I'm reopening the door for you to walk through. I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm releasing you from the energy that you brought into my life. I'm letting you go. So some of y'all, sitting up here forgiving, I'm a forgiving person. I'm a forgiving person. There's a difference between being forgiving and being a doormat. And some of y'all being doormats. You're just forgiving this person over and over and over again for shit that they fail or refuse to resolve. They're still in that energy. They're still in that space. And they've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people just like you that they're going around getting forgiveness from to make them feel better about bullshit that they refuse to take care of. You think you're the only one? They've run this game on a whole bunch of other people. All I got to do is ask sorry and she'll forgive me because she knows that I had it rough as a child or I had this traumatic experience. I'm sorry. I'm not putting down anybody that, I'm not putting down anybody that had any trauma as a child. If you made it this far, kudos to you. You still here, which means that you got a chance to fulfill your universal purpose, and I applaud your courage. But if that thing is not resolved, guess what? You are living your life in vain right now. And to turn around and use it as a tool to just act crazy and don't do anything about your negative behaviors and rely on people's forgiveness, that's coming from a place of hurt and pain, and you need to go see somebody. So people, please understand. There are lessons in every single relationship, good or bad. And if you see a person is changing, their energy is changing, the way they present themselves has changed, the way their life has changed, and you see that they are actively doing spiritual work on their issues, that's a different story. Then maybe you can revisit the fact whether or not you want this person in your life. But you have to understand, forgiveness is not giving them power. Forgiveness is giving you power so you can move on. Just saying.